Wife claims to be great, but is actually the worst. Ooh, boy, here we go. Here we go. We're getting in quick here. Bildo. That's probably not the first time you've been called that. No, it is not. But since you like to be called offensive things, I do. I'll start there. Well, thank you. I'm writing since you seem to be rather forward in your advice instead of taking a nice guy approach. I'd like to know what I should... Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. Oh, it's not playing. Why won't it play? I got to get someone in here to...
It's time
yeah.
for advice.
Hey! That's me. Sorry if that was too loud.
From
somebody else. All right. Asking me for advice. Always a dangerous thing. Always a dangerous thing. I'm not a licensed professional. I'm a fucking jerk-off. But here's my 2 cents. I did watch V for Vendetta at one point. I did see that movie. I have seen that movie. I'm writing you since you seem to be rather forward, blah, 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 blah. I've been with a woman for 10 years. We're married with one 7-year-old boy who is the absolute apple of my eye. Early in our marriage, it became very obvious that she didn't contribute much to the household. We lived in a 1-bedroom apartment, and I did most of the cleaning because she never bothered to do any of it. Do you realize how many guys are in this situation? It's this weird thing where feminism told them that, oh, you're making the guy a sandwich, and you're cleaning up, and what are you, his fucking slave? You know? Which I say is all well and good, as long as you then go out and get a fucking job, and you're bringing money into the house. Then I don't have you problem cleaning up as much. But if you're making half the fucking messes, you should be cleaning up half the fucking messes. I paid all of the bills because if it was left to her to do it, we would have late fees every month on all bills. We both worked, so she was tired at the end of the day and never cared to cook. This is understandable, but at the same time, it's frustrating because she always brags about her amazing cooking skills. I know, and you worked all day, so you're tired too. Within a few months after the wedding, she almost stopped having sex with me. Oh, wow, dude. At this point, 10 years later, it's limited to about once or twice a year. She's also basically let herself go. She was about 135 pounds when we were married, but she's probably over 200 now. For some, that might not be a ton, but she's only 5'2". After about a year of this marriage disaster, I wanted to let her go, but her dad came over to attempt to work out our differences. I decided to give it another chance, and then you got pregnant, right? I decided to give it another chance. Within a few weeks after this conversation, she got pregnant, and I was obviously not happy about it. Yeah, I wonder how that happened. She probably pulled the goalie on you there. She promised once she became a stay-at-home mom that behavior would be different. She'd start to clean more, cook more, go to the gym, but of course none of that ever happened. Having a discussion about her lack of effort never goes well. She'll sleep till 9 and just watch YouTube most of the day. Wow, dude. This laziness even occurs after 6 p.m. and puts me in the spot where I must take care of our boy or nobody else will. I walk him to school every morning and put him to bed and read to him almost every night. The effort she puts in to raise our boy is atrocious. Dude, this is depressing. On top of all this, she has lied to me about her clothing purchases for years. She's also started a business using my social security number without any discussion. She has proceeded to charge cards to a balance over $100,000 despite my attempts to stop it. Well, dude, you're not trying hard enough. What is she holding you down, punching you in the face, taking the cards? Take the fucking cards away from her. She has said that she wants a divorce, but I have asked for us to work it out. Every argument, she pushes it again. I'm starting to think it's the right move, but I'm terrified for my little boy and his needs. I know she won't take care of him as needed. Courts usually side with the woman. I'm also scared the courts will make me pay her business credit card balances on top of child support. See, ladies, listen to this fucking guy's story. She's truly the worst wife that ever existed, but says I only point out her worst traits. Honestly, Is there a good trait? I struggle to find any. Her cooking, too little evidence to conclude. Hoping for a decent response from a responsible cocksucker like you. Wow, dude. If she was like half a decent mother, I would just say, everything points out you just got to walk away from this person. You got to walk away. If the kid wasn't involved, you walk away. And who gives a fuck if they put the $100,000 on you? Okay, if you stayed with her, it would become $200,000. All right. So now all I got to do is if you're going to stay or if you're going to leave. All right. If you're going to stay, you got to take her credit cards away from her. That's it. All right. You have to start having ultimatums. All right. And she has to get her fucking shit together. This is it, dude. You need ultimatums here. I'm taking away the credit cards, and you have to get your shit together, or this isn't going to work out. And that's fucking it. That's it. Because you are literally a prisoner in this fucking relationship. Granted, this is just your side of it, but this is pretty vivid. So I might talk to a lawyer before you have this conversation and just see if there's a way to prove that she's as bad as you're saying that you would get custody. Because the reality of what you have going on here, dude, this is a divorce where you want to go for full custody. And if that's what you're leaning towards, I would go to a lawyer first without her knowing and find out what evidence you need to prove that you should at least get 50% of being with your kid. Because here's the thing, too. You don't want your kid still loves her mom unconditionally. So you sound like a great dad. You sound like you're out there, you're earning money. You're not doing anything wrong. You're putting up with a ridiculous level of childish fucking behavior. It sounds like you've sat down and tried to talk to her. It hasn't fucking worked. You know what, dude? I would get out of this. I'd get out of this because what's going to happen is she's going to end up having $300,000 in fucking credit card debt, and then she's going to put that on you, and then try to get custody and all of this shit. I don't know, or maybe you try to give her one more chance. But I would talk to a lawyer first, find out what your fucking options are, so you can play this as perfectly as you can. I'm hoping in the future, court systems will realize that the guy is not always the person that's wrong in a relationship, and it isn't always best for the kid to be with the mother. I understand why that is. Watching my daughter, how she reacted to having a baby brother and just their instincts is fucking incredible. But, that doesn't mean that there's not selfish sociopaths or fucking pieces of shit that happen to have vaginas out there. All right. So that's what I would do, sir. I would go talk to a lawyer and find out what my fucking options are. And, the other option is you just hang in there till your son's 18 and then you just fucking pull the ripcord and get the fuck out. But by then, dude, how much money in credit card debt has she racked up? Then there's a diabolic side where you encourage her to keep eating and you hope she drops of a fucking heart attack. There's a lot of options here. None of them friendly. All right. Girlfriend finds other men attractive. All right, sup, Bill? I'm 23-year-old from New Hampshire and have recently met a new woman. We've been dating for a few months now, and she is damn near perfect. One of the only things she does that bothers me is she will often talk about how attractive she finds certain male celebrities. Oh, give me a break. Those aren't real people. She will even post things about these certain celebrities on her Instagram story from time to time, basically boasting about how hot she thinks they are. My question is, do I have the right to tell her to stop? I have no problem with her finding other people attractive. Everyone does. But when she boasts publicly about them, it makes me feel like shit and a bit insecure. Come on, man. The fuck. Brad Pitt is Brad Pitt. Ryan Gosling's Ryan Gosling. They're going to find him attractive. They're never going to run into him. And if she wants to do that, who gives a shit? I personally, it wouldn't bother me. He goes, am I being a pussy or are my feelings here valid? Your feelings are always valid. What you have to wonder is where they're coming from. Anyways, he goes, I've told her it bothers me before, but I'm not trying to be controlling of her. So she still does it from time to time. I would not do this, and I find it disrespectful. Well, it seems like she lowered it, and just from time to time she does it. Anyway, sure, there are other people out there, and she can find some attractive, but when she flaunts her feelings about them to the world, it makes me wonder why I am pouring my heart out to this girl if she's going to give attention to other men, even if they are unattainable. Thanks, and stay safe, kid. Well, this is what I would do. Why don't you post, if you want to be a vindictive, V for vendetta, vindictive lunatic, you should post and say how hot you find Sally Sugar Tits, whoever the fuck is the hot chick. I'm too old to know anymore. Yeah, why don't you, Margot Robbie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Why don't you fucking post some pictures of her with her dirty feet up on that movie seat? Yeah. But that's a dangerous game to play. I think that, it's just, she's just into this shit the way you might be into sports. That's all. Where you would post a picture of some fucking linebacker going, this guy's an absolute beast. They're like, oh my God, this guy's a fucking dreamboat. I mean, I really wouldn't, if she suggested that you move to Hollywood, even if you were in Hollywood, she's still never going to meet these fucking people. So, I mean, I of all the things you could be upset about, I would let that one go. I would let it go personally. I would. All right. But having said that, if it was the other way around and you were posting about one of these stars out here, women, I think that she would, if she had a fucking problem about it, you without a doubt would have to fucking stop. I mean, and that is the male-female dynamic in a nutshell. Is basically they can kind of do whatever the fuck they want. Because the narrative out there is if you say that they should stop doing something because it hurts your feelings, that you're being controlled. I mean, you even said, I'm not trying to be controlling. Am I just a pussy, right? Because she's doing something that bothers you. The other way around is you need to validate her feelings. It's, the reason why women always talk about that whore stud double standard is because if they looked at all the other double standards, those are all wins for them.